this morning, the investigation continues into what caused an apartment building to partially collapse in the Bronx.
That's right. Miraculously, the FDNY says nobody was killed here. This morning, crews are picking up the pieces while the Red Cross helping victims who have no home to return to.
We are live with team coverage in the Bronx. Pix 11's Julie Millay is live at a temporary shelter now assisting those displaced.
But first, let's begin with Kieran Dillon in Morris Heights, where cleanup is certainly underway at this hour. Kieran.
Hi, good morning, Dan and Kala. Well, this investigation continues this morning. There are so many questions about how this partial collapse could have happened. Many people in this area, residents, well, they want answers. But of course, this investigation is still in its preliminary stages, so it could take time before we get any of those answers. But the great news is that no one was killed in this partial collapse. More than 100 people have been displaced from their home. I want to give you a look behind me right now. Still an active scene where we are in the Morris Heights section of the Bronx. Take a look here. The building in question is still standing, but the corner of the collapse is clearly visible. There's debris and rubble on the street right in front of the building, and the FDNY and the NYPD are also here surveying the damage. And you can see it's just incredible here, guys. Furniture, even a bed hanging from one of the floors. The terrifying partial collapse was caught on video. Pedestrians can be seen running for their lives as 6 stories came crashing down.
Maybe like an earthquake type noise. It was very loud.
The catastrophic collapse at 1915 Billingsley Terrace took place around 3:30 in the afternoon. Many of the people who live in the 50-unit building were still at work or school. Belongings like beds and clothes still visible, even in the destruction.
Once they start cracking, everybody start going out.
These deli workers somehow made it out of the first floor in time.
They were able to evacuate on time.
Because they heard the cracking noises?
Yes.
First responders got to the scene in 90 seconds, and for hours, firefighters searched through debris and rubble, using drones, dogs, and even robots to search for any victims.
We'll be here until we're down to the street level, just to make sure if there are any victims under there, hopefully we could get to them in time.
Miraculously, it appears only 2 people suffered minor injuries. The Department of Buildings says the apartment was built in 1927 and is 7 stories tall. There were several open violations around unsafe facade conditions, though none of them structural. Work was currently being done on the building.
That report did find unsafe facade conditions, 7 of them. Mortar that was deteriorating, cracked bricks.
So exactly what will happen to the remainder of this very large 50-unit building is still unknown. Of course, we can assume that it will be demolished at some point, but first, before that can happen, the Department of Buildings has to complete its investigation, and that could take days, if not weeks. That is the latest from the Morris Heights section of the Bronx. Kieran Dillon, Pix 11 News.